2 years ago today, the U.S. Supreme Court announced the decision overturning the constitutional protection to have an abortion. Now, as we approach another election season, it is still a big issue for many. 13 on Your Side political reporter Josh Albertus has been talking to lawmakers and community members about where the debate stands here in our state.
June 24th, 2022. The day the nation's highest court repealed the constitutional protection for abortions.
No justice! No peace!
For some, a day of celebration.
This is a huge win for life, a huge win for human rights, and protecting the sanctity of human life.
For others, a day of devastation.
They have worked to keep us down. They worked to keep us enslaved. They worked to keep us out the polls. They worked to keep us out of political offices. They worked to keep us in the home. But we know, as we fought for centuries, that this will not stand.
The decision sending shockwaves throughout the nation, including here in Michigan, as word spread of what had happened.
I have 3 daughters. They're all in their 20s. And I could not stop thinking about what does this mean for them? What does the world look like in a post-Dobbs world, in a post-Roe world?
And I just remember thinking, of course this happened. And it's a call to action, it motivates me every day.
Other onlookers remember that day much differently.
That day when that decision came down, what went through your head when you heard the news that that had been the court's decision?
It was an extremely joyous day. It was almost an unbelievable day. And I was at home on that day, and for the first time, I turned the TV on in the middle of the day to watch the celebrations in Washington, D.C.
Stateside, the court's decision galvanizing efforts that culminated in the passage of Proposal 3, codifying Roe-like protections into Michigan's Constitution. But in the 2 years since Dobbs, almost 24 other states have put restrictions in place. The issue only growing more pivotal for many as another election season looms, and some in the community fear the possibility of a federal ban that could override state law.
For me and my friends, there's a lot of fear. Luckily, we know here that in Michigan we have the right to choose, and there's a codified right to abortion, but in other states where we might move after college, that's just not existent in other states. So there's a lot of fear across the board.
A fear many others share.
They're going to try and tell you that overturning Roe 2 years ago was it. That was what they aimed to do. They had a 50-year plan. They overturned it, and now they're done, right? Please, please don't believe them. Look at what they do and not at what they say.
But others see some politicians' use of the issue as concerning.
My concern right now is that a lot of candidates are using the threat of a national ban as a political maneuver to get votes, and I think that is a disservice to women and to voters.
But it's a seemingly uphill battle against public opinion for abortion opponents in this key state. A March poll from Quinnipiac finding that roughly 2/3 of Michiganders polled believed abortion should be legal in all or most cases.
It's very disheartening to hear that people believe abortion should be a right. And what it comes back to for us is we need to educate more. We need to educate on fetal development. We need to educate on options that are available for women, opportunities for them to make that very courageous choice for life.
But with what they say has been seen since the fall of Roe, some believe it's all on the line this November.
The cruelty and the confusion and the chaos that both patients and providers are living under, we now understand what that reality looks like.
But where both sides seem to agree is where they say this fight will continue on, with them and their allies on the front lines of one of the most divisive debates in America.
Most people I talk to are very hopeful about the upcoming election, but they do understand it's going to take a lot of work, and even that work can just be talking to family, friends, putting a yard sign out, educating yourself on all the position of the candidates, but we're very hopeful.
Josh, the election is getting closer. Can we expect to hear more about this soon from the candidates?
Well, we may very well expect this topic to be discussed later this week when President Joe Biden and former President Donald Trump are set to face off in the first presidential debate of the 2024 elections on Thursday. It starts at 9 p.m. and is hosted on CNN, but will also air live on ABC with pre-debate coverage starting at 13 on Your Side at 8.
Josh, thank you.